Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the DreamHack Masters 2021 Last Chance Qualifiers. Your last chance to get a significant boost to your placement, well, besides just the prize money from this. And I am Katowice, coming up very soon. Now, both these players you wouldn't be surprised to see even in the finals of a tournament. But here facing off in a best of 3, let me introduce you to the 2019 World Champion of Starcraft 2. The man who just seems to know how to win. And he enjoys doing it, despite usually his expressions when winning, which are barely excited. Not quite TY, but it is Rogue. 2020, not 2019. No. Rogue won 2019. Not Dark. Maddox, you should know this. You're the Korean. Wait, did Rogue win 2019? Yes. No. Yes. 2017. You see, now I'm questioning myself. Nobody would have fact-checked me on this. Like, 5% of people would have known. And they wouldn't have been entirely sure. And in the top... Wait, in the top left, the man, the myth, the big boy, it is Parting. And the last time these two met, essentially they just proxied each other the whole series. It was not a long series. This time, it appears we're expanding. Oh, Rogue won I Am Katowice 2020. I don't think people were referring to it as the World Championship, even though it technically was at that point. Okay, so, yes, but Rogue also won BlizzCon in 2017. We got it. So, like I said, pretty good at winning. That part was correct. That is, so what I'm trying to say is I was right.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
And nothing else matters. Parting, also a world champion. He won BlizzCon. Is it just me? Is this not making any noise? Oh my god. The most silent chrono boost of all time. Parting cloaked his chrono boost somehow. It does appear so far we're having what is a macro game, which is a little concerning, especially from Parting's perspective. Every time I've seen Parting try to play a macro game, he just ends up going all in with Blinkstalkers, and usually losing, okay? Against Zerg recently, that is. He gets into a position that looks like if he micros perfectly, he can almost not lose. But we do have starting out what also is the flavor of the last few months. The solid meta choice of a Void Ray. Void Ray is getting their discount and their remodel, and by that I mean they're a little cheaper, they're a little faster. They still are countered by essentially just queen timings and stuff like that, but it is much more of a choice in the early game. Before, the cost of a Void Ray was hard to justify if you're just killing overlords. But nowadays, you can, like, you have to respect. You must respect. They named a whole goddamn expansion after them, so you must respect the Void Rays. Just simply because if they choose to get, like, it's like a battlecruiser build, as Terran. Or against Terran for Zerg. You kind of just have to deal with them if you don't go all in. And right now, Rogue, he has 40 drones. He's getting Overlord speed, but he's not getting a lair. So this isn't for some German taxi build, unfortunately. It is just, please don't kill my OVs so quick. And also, let me scout if you're building a ton of Void Rays or not. That's what Rogue is doing here. But yeah, like the battlecruisers, they get 4 or 5 Void Rays, and you just kind of just sit in your base and build queens. And hope they don't kill too much of your stuff. It doesn't feel great. It's not what Parting is doing, by the way. He built 1 Void Ray to both scouts and kill Ovies. He built 1 to keep his 3rd. And behind this, now this is something. Parting's going for glaives. He's going for glaives, but it's like a macro glaives. So it's a star glaives opener, but with emphasis on the glaives. I feel like at some point glaives is gonna stop being a word that has meaning, but not yet. The mutas also have a glaive worm with a Y, of course. Both words somehow. There are several glaive related activities here in StarCraft. And all of them are adepts and the mutas. Okay, I was trying to think. No, Terran doesn't have, like, widow glaives. Doesn't work. Sounds pretty cool, though. Instead of a widow mine shot, it throws out ninja stars. Somehow doing more damage. Because what we need is another widow mine buff. Right, Terrans? Okay, we got the Terrans. The Terrans who made it to 6 minutes in this match. Because while Terran, I'll tell you guys this on YouTube, while you've liked and subscribed, and we have some downtime as Roach Hydra versus... This is like the most standard game. Okay. Terran is the most searched for. Not by a huge margin, but people search for... I think because everybody starts out as Terran. Terrans are the only race who can read other things. But they're also the least likely to show up for matches of other... Like Zergs and Protoss. You can watch a good Terran match, right? Tell me out there. Like, you'll watch a good Terran match, even if you're a pretty committed Protoss or a Zerg player. Terrans have a near, like, even though Protoss have the Zealots, the Terrans have a near religious disregard for the other races if there's no Terran involved. Like, pretty self-centered, a classic Terran, like, they carried that all the way from the Sol system. But really coming through throughout their history, the Terrans incredibly self-centered, actually. But for those Terrans out there, like, I don't know, I'm considering playing Protoss. 1, shame on you. 2, you do you, boo. I support your decisions. Whereas Rogue, he sees 2 Void Rays. He's like, is that it? That's it, right? That's all you got. Yeah. It's not a bunch of Void Rays. Those are the only Void Rays. Here comes Rogue with the Roach Hydra army. No Lurkers. No Banelings. Throwing a few Ravagers in the mix. And here comes Parting, who has Storm and Charge and Warp Gate. And that's all he wants and that's all he needs. What is happening? There's the Storms. But a terrible positioning. Parting gets absolutely smashed. And I'm not talking about before and after the game. I'm talking about in that fight. That was terrible. Parting moving out at the worst possible timing. Somehow not seeing a whole Zerg army. Now Rogue just kind of body slams into the 4th. There will be a couple Storms, but most of the Templar don't have energy yet. Shield Battery Overcharge helping out a lot, though. The Archon's doing a ton to keep this intact. The Shield Battery Overcharge, what this entire defense is built on, is Parting is starting to keep it together. The Templar are gaining energy. Several more Storms are on the table. The shield batteries are now out of energy, but a couple more are coming up. The Archon's staying together. Behind this, Rogue has enough production to continue the attack, but Parting has held. Miraculous. But enough. Now, it did look like Rogue was just going to kind of run over him. But Parting positioned his batteries in such a way they couldn't easily be targeted, especially with this army that has to keep you at a short arm's reach. You don't really want to be on top of those Archons or the Zealots, because obviously bad things happen to biological units if they get too intimate with Archons, which somehow have shorter range than Roaches, which is kind of sad. But they're like, well, like, why can't we have longer arms for more range? And they're like, you got to think about your center of gravity, Archons. It's a balance issue, if you know what I mean. Some more cannons, slowing things down, a delaying tactic. A force field just kind of thrown out there, see what'll happen. Shield battery overcharge drawn out on the wrong side of the map, though. Rogue overwhelming, takes down the pylon, no other defenses. Parting scrambling on both sides, he can barely defend one. But if he keeps up like this, he'll be able to defend none. some good storms, but Rogue continues piling in from the right. He's taking out the 4th. Beautiful storm down the center. But there's still so much Zerg. Incredible storms, but is that enough to save Parting? There's no counter damage happening. Every probe and every nexus and every building and unit that's lost is not very easily replaced. The best hope for Parting. Does he have Blink Stalkers? Because, like, here we go again. Parting down to 60 probes, down to 3 bases. But he has a deadly army. Rogue has lost so much, but not enough. He's lost almost 2,000 more gas. Parting not going to make the mistake, arguably, of moving out and getting surrounded out on the map. The only reason he was able to defend is because he caught Rogue in those choke points. Parting still has enough economy to compete. Now, it looks bad, but remember, that's only 900 more income. Between minerals and gas, yes, but not a huge amount when these players are mining several thousand per minute. Yeah, right now combined, Rogue has 4K income with a ton of gas. Parting with 3,500. Moving out with a fierce army. He's got all the pieces of the puzzle here. He's got solid upgrades +2. He's got Archons. He's got a couple sentries for Guardian Shield and Force Field. The Immortals as the backstop. And of course, High Templar. That is a lot. Parting has a lot to handle here. And Rogue, of course, is going for the surround. Are there enough storms to stop all of this? A great storm to soften things up. There is that very important prism as well. Observers involved. The army supply is good. The prism itself, Parting needs to be a little careful. He's warping in right at the front. +1 carapace finishing. Good storm from Parting. The corrosive bile's just not getting close enough. There's nothing else happening on the map besides Parting taking a 4th and Hive Tech incoming for Rogue. Another incredible storm. Those units, I think Parting's got to go soon. I think this is it. You got the army now. Guardian Shield pops him. Now Rogue getting kind of caught. The Templar closing in. Corrosive bile's not enough. Weathering his own storms is Parting. Some of the Archons getting distracted. They're pretty easily distracted. Dodges 1 sentry is the only thing hit. Counterattack, finding damage, forcing the cancel on the 4th. So Parting all sorts of in here. Rogue building 25 more roaches. The problem is, can his army actually compete? Parting has gotten disjointed here. He's the one flanking Rogue at his own 4th base. How many storms are left? There's still 5 High Templar. He catches him up against the hatch. It's a mess. The corrosive biles don't actually kill. He missed. Wait. No, never. I take it back. He didn't miss. It's unclear. The army's chasing down and isolating bits of the Protoss, but the Protoss hunting down as much as they can of the Zerg. Drones are starting to die. Force Field's helping out a bit. 2 Immortals and the Void Rays have been here the whole time. And the 22 kills. He's got 12 kills. There's no anti-air except 1 Queen. So the Void Rays might be the only survivors in this attack. His Parting micros an Immortal back. The Void Rays, the supply's dangerously even. Dangerous for Rogue. Parting gonna go for, it seems a little greedy to go for the 4th, but somehow both sides not able to finish off their opponent. He's out microing a Spore Crawler. The Spore Crawler! Come back! Screw you guys! I hate you guys! You're the worst! More spores! There's no other anti-air somehow. I'm not sure how it came to this, but he got the base. Unfortunately for Parting, he didn't go for the drones, which means they just transfer over. The thing is, in a low economy game, or an even economy game, this usually favors the Protoss, especially when the Zerg is on Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra is just not the ideal choice in most scenarios. It's just not what you want to have as time goes on. It's the unenthusiastic Jabba unit compositions. It's for getting things done quickly, but not maybe the ideal choice of a Zerg player. But he's moved on. He's got 8 lurkers on the way. Family-friendly stream. Whose family? I don't know. Probably should take a introspection on that one. But what are you doing, Step Brovy? Guys? You guys see this? I don't know. That's a lot of lunkers. Does parting? Yep. Wait, does he have on hold? He's holding. Oh my god, he's holding. Well, not anymore. The Lonkers are doing a lot of damage, but parting has no detection. Oh no! I think he was hold firing. I'm not sure if it was just the range wasn't there, but now, obviously, parting knows. Parting is taking another base. What a game! I really thought both of them had it at different points, but the attacks... It's easy to criticize how disjointed they were, but there's so much that has to be done in these fights. Like, if Parting consolidated his forces more, that might have given Rogue an opportunity to just circumvent. But at the same time, if Rogue had gone for the all-out attack, he might have been able to break Parting earlier. Right now, I would say, with Rogue re-establishing his bases, even though he has a low economy, those are fully upgraded lurkers. Parting has a very limited time to stop these from getting entrenched. He can't really afford to lose the 4th Nexus again. Here come the Archons right up in the mix. Some good storms. Another disjointed fight. Lurkers being targeted down. Still a handful behind. Is there an Overseer? There's no detection to knock out the Observer, so there's still a small opportunity to potentially deal with them. Parting dipping in supply as he's been doing. The Void Ray getting involved. A Spore Crawler having its say. More storms coming in. Where are the Overseers? Going straight for the Lurkers. Find some of them. A lot of the Roach Hydra and Roach Ravager is bruised, but there's just so damn much that One Immortal has so much work to put in. Working overtime today. Shield Battery Overcharge already been used. Parting starting to run out of units. There's still one Lurker intact, and that could be all of the difference as Rogue takes game number 1. Okay. All right. I think Parting kind of floundered in the attack. Just struggled. A little late. On a... But... I really... One, it was kind of a miracle that Parting held on that long. It really looked like Parting stuck with a more standard unit composition, and it paid off to an extent. Whereas Rogue was really looking to kill Parting before he could put the army together. He survived long enough to get to Lurkers, but it was definitely dicey. Can we? Yeah. Game 2. Rogue takes it, but not nearly as cleanly as he would like. Oh, God. Well, Parting has decided that's enough of that. We've had enough of these silly macro games. A Forge. Rogue knows this is a possibility, maybe even a probability. He's already sending a drone out. You know, just in case. There's nothing suspicious about this probe yet. But there's oh my, well. Oh, well. Now there's something somewhat suspicious about the probe. Now you gotta respect the confidence from Parting. What do I mean? He didn't send a second probe. Parting is so confident in his probe micro. He doesn't send another probe. If this probe just dies, it's over. He's probably lost the game. Even top players like Zest and of course Haz. Haz will send half his probes. But Parting sends one. He's confident he'll get what he needs with just the one. Disgusting. I mean, you gotta respect it. But at the same time, you can respect it and hate it at the same. That's okay. I give you permission. I do. Three drones. So it's happening. it's a slow play. There's a roach one on the way. He didn't block the gas. The cannon will eventually kill the hatch, but so painfully slowly that Rogue has to debate whether or not he's going to try to save it. He's building Queen, like... The Queen, can you get... He's gonna go for a creep tumor, but then the Zealot pops out. I was like, well, wait a second over there. Do you have a license for that tumor? The answer is no, and the Zealot enforces it. The only licensed tumors allowed? Oh, the Broodlings? Think about chasing the Zealot instead. Yes, Broodling micro matters. The shield batteries, wow, parting is at the last possible second for all these things. Like, if that shield battery is done 5 seconds later, the Stalker probably dies. If the Zealot was done 5 seconds later, there's a creep tumor, making things much more difficult, if not keeping the Queen alive. But parting gets it all done with that one heroic probe. It looks like Rogue's gonna try to break a badly bruised Ravager. The batteries... Oh no, he missed a shot on the battery! It somehow, like, it doesn't look like there's any space, but somehow there is. Oh, come on. Oh, you come on. No! The cannon on the low ground. Oh, everything's terrible. Oh, parting, you dickbag. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, we're all tied up. No more of these silly macro games. Game 1 was a fluke. Parting does not want a repeat of that experience. Oh. When your opponent goes high, parting goes in between your vital organs with 3 pylons. That's what he do. And then he gives a nice twist to wherever is most important to you. And here we are, twisting our way into Game 3. No, I don't think this is a cannon rush. Parting sending a probe out is suspicious at all times. Notice how Rogue brought a drone? I don't think he'd do that against most Protoss. This is just your classical hatch block. Annoying, but also customary. Protoss blocking hatches since, I don't know, 1998? I'm not sure if it was a standard Brood War strat because of all those silly 4-player maps and all that. But at least 2010. More like 2000 and late. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I keep it 100. Just like you should. At the like to dislike ratio on this video, like and subscribe. Never forget, you know those 14-year-old Minecrafters are doing it. Come on. I know you're 3 times that age, but it's okay. It's okay. Your ad revenue is worth way more to me than them. Unless they're on your computer. You know what they're watching. They're probably still logged in. You're really going to mess with their recommendations. So this is about a standard. Now this is the actual standard. Game 1 was standard, but this is meta standard. Meta standard is, as a Zerg player, you either expand to their natural or your third. Those are your options. You do not get to take your natural as your second base. That's just how it be. Because there will be a probe, and that probe might not be cannon rushing, but it might as well be. So get used to it. Probe sees 2 Zerglings. Nothing to be worried about. Stargate. A zealot? Is he It's a fake. It's a fake! He was producing the zealot, so it looked like he wasn't building a Stargate. Parting not doing the silly delaying warp gate and making your Stargate the most obvious thing in the history of StarCraft move here. But instead, he opts to, well, he's making it look, I think, like a Twilight by continuing production. And yes, Rogue is looking at that. You can see, well, from Rogue's perspective here, obviously he can't see the Stalker icon. That's for us, because we're bad. But he knows something's producing, but he doesn't necessarily know it's a Stalker. And that's what Parting is banking off of. A Void Ray. The choice again. This map, if you were gonna go Sky Toss, this would be a solid map for it. It's hard. You've got a ramp leading up to your natural and your third, and also technically a ramp and a long rush distance on the right side. Almost no one aggressively takes down these minerals early, though they maybe should. It's only 10 minerals. It's 2 drones. Or 1 mule, lucky-ass Terrans. Wait, we're not talking about Terrans, but you Terrans who are still around, I appreciate that you enjoy the other races as well. Maybe tell your Terran friends. Or maybe don't. They're kind of dicks. They're like, but did you see what Parting just did? At least Parting doesn't pretend to be a respectable player. Alright? Parting doesn't come out saying, like, I'm actually the best macro player and it takes so much more skill. Parting, on the other hand, has a different strategy. Parting takes a different angle on it. And Jimmy, where are my memes? There's no all-in happening. We have time for memes. Oh, I've got it. No. Here we are. An actual interview. Parting quote says, Protoss is good to play like a pervert to, quote, piss others off. In these interviews, the Terran players are like, I think Terran is very hard. And I think it takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice. And Parting comes in with, I want to play Protoss like a pervert. So, here we are. Double Stargate, Void Ray, Charge Lot, and now we're going to throw a Forge on for +1. Whereas Rogue kind of just has to figure out what's going on. Does he know about 2 Stargates? He doesn't. At some point, the amount of Void Rays will make it obvious, but it's pretty easy to avoid showing the Voids, and thus increasing the mythos of the legacy of the Voids. But maybe Rogue with Overlord speed could shine a ray of light on those Voids and clear up. Okay, so when I said you have a ramp to your natural, well, Parting knows what he wants, and he doesn't want to be attacked from here. That is a hard wall. It's not even like the most efficient hard. It's close enough. I guess you could argue this creates a natural choke point or something, but I think he just kind of slapped it down. And this is part of why you can get away with the Stargate so easily on this map. Like, what is Rogue gonna do? If he's not gonna do like a German taxi build, getting the queens across the map, which he's not. Wait, I shouldn't have said that with such decisiveness. He might. He does have 66 drones and counting, so. Parting wanted to do the high ground Brenda! My God, the one place! Who was responsible for the creep? Shh, we'll be there. We're working on it. Meanwhile, though, because there was no creep in that area, means the queens have to scamper down. Of course, hydras are helpful as well. It looks like Parting going for the I'm gonna just get everything build, which is double Stargate into double Robo, but also with Storm. I'm not locked in here with you, Zerglings. Wait, what am I watching? Okay. Artosis in the distance. Actually, no. That only depowers 2. Meanwhile, the Void Rays are making a good effort, but... every Zergling does die. He got a Pylon, a Stalker, and like 2 Zealots, so... I don't know. I mean, it's just Zerglings, but... Come on. How dare you? Like and subscribe to save a Zergling today. We're trying. We're trying. We should have done this earlier in the video. God. Every time Rogue plays, every minute, 30 Zerglings die. Uh-oh. With your help... Well, those Void Rays, if only there was some way to teleport across the map magically out of range of the Hydras. Unfortunately, I do not recall what it is. What? They travel in packs to hide their numbers and also reduce target fire. Oh, Parting, you are a disgusting... I think it's good to play like a pervert. Oh, come on. He just killed +2 melee, which is like the most important upgrade for the unit composition that Rogue is going. +2 melee allows Banelings to one-shot probes and 2-shot High Templar, and are of course way better against Zealots. So without it, Parting is much less at risk of just losing half his probes in 10 seconds. It's still a risk, but it takes significantly more Banelings. Speaking of taking more Banelings, oh, what a save! He dodges into the prism, but that's a lot of Hydralisk, and look at the supply. Once again, Parting has gotten cute. He's played in his particular way, but here comes Rogue, hammering on the door. Banelings, but the Banelings! Trap other Banelings! And then they get stormed. It's a disaster, but wait! There's more. Oh, the probe and the Banelings from the back! Where did they come from? 31 probes! Gone! Upgrades! Irrelevant! Parting! Dead! He's losing everything! There's so many Banelings, it doesn't matter! Whatever they hit, they're gonna kill. Maybe besides Archons. And also they can't hit Void Rays. But Parting struggling, tapping it out. GG, Rogue bludgeons him. Whips the Banelings into the Nexus and carries them through. I need to... We're gonna go back. Where did they just like wrap around from the back, or did he get them in from somewhere? Where did those Banes come from on the left? I might be blind. Am I just blind? Oh!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh! He microed it! Rogue found the opportunity! Well, with that all said and done, Rogue takes it 2-1. Like, subscribe, check out these incredible videos and excitement. Be a winter champ. Well, that was a great series. It went about as I expected in every way. Well, actually there were 0 Blink Stalkers, so. What did you think? What could Parting have done? And why is Rogue so good? And did Rogue, in which years didn't Rogue win things? All important discussions. Thank you for watching this DreamHack Masters Last Chance Qualifier. Look forward to I Am Katowice. Good luck and have fun.